The Argentinian Canadian Mural Project started really last September when Gerald Pedros from the Raza group invited me to join the Raza artists in Argentina for a mural painting project. Our job when the 3 weeks in Argentina was over for the Raza members was to come up with potential projects in our home cities, which was Vancouver, Montreal, and London. And I was completely sure that not only did I have nothing to offer in this process, that I had no connections to offer, and I didn't have a responsive city. And I was 110% wrong. We had everything to offer, and the project came together in, well, we were in Argentina in October, they were here in September. And we just had 7 weeks to put the whole thing together once we got approval, and the community galvanized around the project and made it happen.
From Buenos Aires. Danielle Zimmerman from Buenos Aires. Sylvia Opelcheck from Tucumán.
And this is Juan Bell from Buenos Aires.
Maria Sensata from Buenos Aires. Gerardo Sanciolo from Buenos Aires.
When I came back from Argentina, the first thing I did was start telling people about my experiences and telling them that we really wanted an opportunity to bring them here. So I told everybody I knew, everyone in the arts, everyone I know in business, hoping that some of those seeds would hit fertile ground and someone would germinate the project and I could take it over. Well, one of the people I told was Paul Wald at Museum London. And Paul is a member of a subcommittee of the Creative Cities Task Force, and his committee is the Mural Committee. So he works with London Downtown Business Association, Main Street, and the city on mural projects in the core area. So I told him the project, he brought it to the Mural Committee, and they loved the idea. So I prepared documents for them, a budget, a project outline, a work plan, a schedule, and so on, and they voted for it.
This wall has been crying out for a very long time. Before I came to London, this wall was waiting to be enriched. As we will enrich our lives here in London. On the council that I'm on, we've done a lot in the last 4 years. How did I been there? Not because I'm there, but partly because I'm there. We've had the Creative Cities Task Force bring forward a lot of recommendations to improve the quality of life for everyone in London through art and culture. And it is becoming increasingly clear to many of my colleagues who haven't noticed before that in fact art is an economic generator.
Once we had approval for the project, I was hired as coordinator. So at that point, really the project fell to me. We had our funding in place. It was up to me to make connections, associations in the community, and to structure the whole project. So with only six weeks head time, basically what I did was I followed paths of least resistance, paths of commitment and passion that I was able to find. So I talked to people, and if someone offered to be involved, I said, all right, come to my house, come into my studio, let me show you the DVD of their work, and then tell me if you want to be involved. And everyone that I invited over, once they saw the DVD of the Argentinian artist's work, they were thrilled. They wanted to be a part of it. They could tell right away it was going to be big, exciting, professional, multicultural. Like it had everything that you could just sink your teeth into.
So when I arrived, when I went to Mexico, I decided just to go to different ateliers of different Mexican friends, like the great muralist Jose Hernández Delgadillo, who around that time was working muralism in Mexico, and learning a few techniques, position, color, how to deal with a big wall in a public space. Since those times I've been just involved in muralism as a tool to relate with people, to relate different cultures, and also as a bridge of togetherness. I still believe in that muralism murals are a good opportunity to relate with community, but also among people from different nations. So this is the case of the actual mural that we are just making here in London, in which the original theme is just friendship and peace. Friendship and peace between two countries, two great countries, Canada and Argentina, two great community of visual artists and also as artists in general.
De los blancos que bailando se quedaron con nosotros. Este es mi canto, es mi sueño hecho canción, con mendillo te saluda, que no se olvida de vos. Para el sureste es mi canto, es mi sueño hecho canción, con mendillo te saluda, que no se olvida de vos.
So at that point too, I started to think of how big the project was in terms of a creative project and an international project in London. So it was clear at that point we had to get the city involved. We had to get local politicians involved, schools, the library, and community groups, and in particular the Latino sector of the city. Because in London and Aylmer and St. Thomas, in that little area there, in Woodstock, we have 30,000 Spanish-speaking people. Big community that's really underrepresented. So we brought them in as well. I really mean that. People who had a really high set of skills to offer to the project and a lot of time and motivation. So those volunteers helped me to put together a schedule that included, restaurants where we got discounts, restaurants where we had free meals and hospitality and entertainment. We had musicians that would entertain the group for free.
Swanbone, oh Swanbone, who am I? You, I am sure of. Your sound is sweet, the mosquitoes reek. Well, I am sure of no one.
My motivation for organizing the whole thing was a real sense of commitment and connection with each and every artist and wanting to give to them what they had given to me. But as a group, there were difficulties because we did several things to them when they came here, just by nature of it being a cultural exchange. We took away their work structure because we don't have the apprentice system here in Canada. So these artists had to work as as all maestros, capital M maestros together. I joked a lot that it was like the G8 summit, but it's the G9 of artists, because you had all the leaders and you had very few people working under them, so to speak. And that was a lot for them. It was really hard to let go of the structure they're used to. Besides that, their routine is different. And this is a people where their culture isn't based around work. Here we change our lifestyle to suit the job we have to do. It's not the same in Latin America, anywhere in Latin America. The lifestyle comes first. The work is fit into that. So here, we also took that away from them. Luckily, they were all really professional artists and they stuck with it, and they worked through their frustration and their competitiveness and their sense of ownership of the mural, and truly did manage to make one unified mural. But it was a huge learning curve for them and a huge area to cover. So there was a great deal of physical strain that they had to persevere through in order to do it as well. The opening ceremonies were very small. I wanted them simply to be an occasion to honor the artists, to make them feel welcome, and to give them a sense that this was important for London. This isn't our small project or just a group of artists reciprocating. This is a contribution to our city as a whole. And that is, 380,000 of us and politicians in City Hall and so on. So that was why I wanted to have some representation there. And I chose the representatives for that area.
Because of the deadline, you also realize that you can't actually do everything yourself. And so at that point, I think, and I've seen this happen in other projects, people have to let go of it a little bit more and kind of allow others to participate in the process in a different way. Because this wall is totally mammoth.
We have created a lot of goodwill, a lot of relationships in the community that seem to be very positive, and we've created a lot of faith, I think, in the business community, a lot of credibility. We've given people a sense of ownership and a sense of vision, so that people who want to come forward and start a project or be a part of one in the future can imagine it being big. And that doesn't happen in London very often, and I don't think that there is any particular reason why it hasn't happened. It's just that someone needs to do it first and to break open that door, and then others should go through it. For me, I'm really excited about planning another project. I loved the challenge of being mired in the details and constantly pulling back to see the whole thing. that thrilled me. I think each project has to have its own culture, its own reason for being, and it should be different than what happened before. Different groups of people engaged in different ways. And I see it as a learning curve for the whole city. You know, the more people we get involved and teach and introduce into the arts in a very involved way, the more acceptance there will be, and the more sort of kinetic energy in the non-arts community. I'd forgotten, I think, in the busyness of it all, how rich the human element is. And, you know, when you work on something so intensely with a group of people, particularly something that has such a personal content to it, you really bond. And so I feel like the artists who are here are family, and like we have this little powerhouse of a force that needs to move on and do more things together. And I didn't anticipate that. You know, I'm really happy to have that with everybody here in town and in Argentina. Yeah.